Okay, so about tarot, tarot is a form of divination. Let me get my cards out actually right now. It's used to divinate, which is like kind of getting a glimpse into a possible future. Since the way that like it works is the future isn't set in stone. There are some like moments in our lives that are set in stone. Those are usually like defining moments. And those are like, you will likely have a moment like that, even if it's not the like, this is just what I personally like believe from like the research I've done. Everyone did believe something else. But this is my like tarot deck. I have a few. The first one that I ever got was the Thoth tarot deck, which is like kind of hard to read for me. It took me a while to bond with the deck. Each deck kind of has like a different energy, or I don't know if you'd call it like spirit, but a different like feeling that you kind of have to get to know, get to like vibe with, because each deck is so completely different. It really is like a personality. I really like this one though. This was a gift, which there is one thing that like is kind of a superstition with tarot, is that basically saying like your first ever tarot deck you are supposed to be given rather than like buying it yourself or like something like that. It should always be like a gift. After your first deck, it doesn't really matter, but that's just like a fun little superstition. It's supposed to be like bad luck, if you like with your readings, if you buy yourself your very first deck, which I didn't know this, but I like my first deck was a gift to me, so I guess I don't really have to worry about it. But anyways, so the way you do tarot, you can get yourself a deck like this. You can like literally draw yourself a deck. It doesn't have to be something that's like bought. There's absolutely no like difference other than like personality of a deck that you like create yourself, or playing cards, or like a deck that you buy at the store. Honestly, you could just use playing cards. Playing cards have the exact same like number, and each like major and minor arcana has a number associated with them that represents like its number in like the playing cards. So if you want to, if you like want to practice tarot but you don't have to buy tarot cards just yet, or ever even, you can just use like a playing card. Like, yeah, you can just use playing cards. You can even just like write whatever, like if you want to like have something that's like a little closer to a tarot deck, you can just write whatever like 3 of swords onto your like playing card and then just use that. But yeah, tarot is using your intuition to divine like certain aspects of the future, based on questions. Sometimes it can be like a specific question, such as like, what should I do about like my new job opportunity, or something like that. Something that's like you have a specific question based off of a specific circumstance. Other times it can just be like, how's today gonna go? I would recommend, like, especially as you're starting out, trying to do like at least like one reading every day, because intuition really is a muscle. If you're not practicing it, it's going to atrophy. It won't go away completely, but it's going to be hard to build it up. It's just like if you like are like walking every day, and then for a year you just decide to like sit in bed and not move and not ever give up or like get up. Like your legs are going, like the muscles in your legs are going to atrophy, and it's going to be really hard to get back up after that year. It's the exact same thing with intuition, to where if you're not practicing it regularly, it's like not going to stay, because your brain says, oh, we don't need this anymore. So I would recommend that. But what you'd want to do, it's not as scary as it sounds. Get whatever you're using. And this is just like my personal preference on how I do it. But you take your cards. Some people will like wake them up if you haven't been using them for a while. I try to do a card reading every day. you make sure to shuffle, ask your question while you shuffle. Try and like close your eyes and connect to the deck. It sounds weird, but you'll know. Yeah, just try and like focus on your question, and as you practice, you'll figure out like what's like the feeling that like it's gotten through to the cards, or it's gotten through to the universe, and what's the feeling that it's just me asking myself. I don't really know how to describe that, because it's different for every single person. So what I feel is not going to be the same as like anyone else's. But after that, after you ask your question, after you shuffle, you make sure to shuffle good. If you're doing a reading for someone else, you can have them shuffle. That's personally what I do. I shuffle a little bit and then I let them shuffle. Other people don't really like others touching their cards because it does give residual energy, like any sort of like exchange, like physical or emotional, will leave residual energy, which is totally understandable. Like, I don't blame them for that. Personally, I just like want some of that energy into the cards just so that I like make sure to have an accurate reading. But after you do that, after you shuffle, you can like splay them out like kind of like a magician would, or you can just like take the top whatever. Let's say you're doing like a 3-card pull, you can just take the top 3 cards, read them like that, or you can splay them out like this, move your hand over until something feels right, or like your hand feels warm or tingly or whatever. You can like spread them across a table or a bed so that it's like one big line. You can do the like shuffling way that it's like that, and then they basically just shuffle like this until a card pops out, or 3 cards popped out. And then that's like your cards for the pulling, which I go between either that or just picking the top cards. It really just depends on you. I'd recommend trying out all of them to see what you like best. Usually what you like best is best for your intuition. Your brain is just kind of funny like that. It knows what it likes. But yeah, that's how tarot works. Each card has a different association. So every single card has something like different about it. You have the minor arcana and the major arcana. The major arcana is going to be like these ones. They've got like the numbers on top and names for them. Minor arcana are going to be your pentacles, swords, wands, and cups. Each one of those like rules a different kind of like thing. Your cups are your water, your emotion. Swords are air, like your thoughts. Wands are fire, your actions. And pentacles are earth, and it's like physical things. It also like usually represents like finances, like money. So if you're reading for like, so you can do like readings for jobs, and they could like tell you like this is going to make you more money than this will. So yeah, sometimes when you're reading, you'll like know. You can also read like right side up, which has a certain association, or if you pull a card, it might be upside down, which has a different association. Sometimes it's like the exact opposite. Other times it's just something that's like different about it than the like normal association. It really just depends on how you specifically read tarot cards. Every single person reads them so different. You don't even have to actually even read reversal cards. Some people don't, which is completely valid to do. It really just depends on what you specifically like. So it's a very, very, very personal practice, to where you really just have to practice more and more and more to figure out what you like to do. And if you like to do something, do it. If you don't like something, you have absolutely no obligation to continue to do it. But yeah, that's what tarot is. it's usually with most like tarot cards, they'll come with like a book or a little booklet that has all of the cards and their meanings. So you'll have like an actual book like this or like something small. If not, like let's say you're using playing cards or you've drawn your own, you can just straight up Google like if you pull the Three of Swords, just Google like Three of Swords meaning. As you practice and as you do readings for yourself and other people, you'll start to memorize what cards mean what, especially through like imagery. That's something big, is like I know when I like switch decks, it takes me a little bit to like relearn everything because I associate imagery and I use imagery to like help with my intuition. And like each deck has such different like drawings and imagery and art that's put into it. So yeah, definitely like the meaning of the card is more important. But that's the overview for tarot. It goes like, you can get pretty in-depth with tarot. There's like pretty big like reading spreads, like 13 card plus like spreads, which like are completely like fine to do. But I would recommend for like beginners to start with like 1 to 5 cards unless it's like something big, because when you like haven't really worked out with your intuition very much, it's hard to understand what is intuition and like naturally just like understanding something versus your brain trying to like connect the dots and trying to figure out like how can I apply what this card means to my situation. So yeah, I would recommend just like try to not think about it. You're gonna want to like figure out like, is this correct? Like, is this like right? Is the way that I'm reading it how you're supposed to be reading it? Like, am I making a mistake or whatever? But that's all your conscious brain talking. You want to get to the unconscious brain where your intuition is. So try not to think about it. Try to just like let it flow, almost like a stream of consciousness kind of thing, which like I've noticed that for me personally, which could be like for you guys as well, but it could just be like for me, when I do like full stream of consciousness, like I like don't let myself really like think about it too hard, that's when my readings are most accurate. Even if like I'm looking at my cards and I pull something and I'm like, I know what this card means, but it doesn't make sense, I'll just start talking, and I'll like say things and I'll be like, I feel like this is wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyways. And then the person that I'm doing a reading for, or like in the future, I'll be like, nope, that was absolutely spot on. So yeah, so just try and like not take it so seriously. So yeah, that's all tarot is. Final thing, after each reading, I would recommend cleansing it. Your cards are going to get a lot of built up energy. Something simple that I do like multiple readings per day. So, and I usually do them around the same time. So let's say I just finished a reading, put my cards back, I'll hold them like this, and then I'll just do 3 knocks while visualizing the energy draining from them. After that, you can do another reading, or put your cards up. I also let them like charge and cleanse overnight with some crystals and like moonlight, just to make sure. Fluorite is a really good crystal for intuition. So if you have any of that, you can definitely use that to like charge your tarot cards. If not, you can honestly just like leave them out in the moonlight. It works like wonders. Honestly, the moon and the sun kind of give you everything you need. But yeah, that's tarot.